We're continuing in the series of prophecies that were given prior to the birth of Jesus Christ, his first advent. We've got prophecies from the Old Testament that were fulfilled by Christ's life in the New Testament. We're in prophecy number 34 in my way of counting. In Isaiah chapter 53, we find this one. Of course, we find a lot in Isaiah 53. Let's read all of Isaiah 53. Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, we esteemed him not. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray, we've turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he hath done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. Sure, we're looking for verse 7. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. We see in this prophecy that the Christ would be silent in front of or before his accusers. He is silent before his accusers. And that's a difficulty, isn't it? For most people want to proclaim their innocence, and yet Christ did not. So we see the fulfillment there in Mark chapter 15, beginning verse 1. And straightway in the morning the chief priests held a consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council, and bound Jesus, and carried him away, and delivered him to Pilate. And Pilate asked him, Art thou the king of the Jews? And he answering said unto him, Thou sayest it. And the chief priests accused him of many things, but he answered nothing. And Pilate asked him again, saying, Answerest thou nothing? Behold, how many things they witness against thee. But Jesus yet answered nothing, so that Pilate marveled. Now he did not open his mouth. Verse 6 continues, Now at that feast he released unto them one prisoner, whomsoever they desired. And there was one named Barabbas, which lay bound with them that made insurrection with him, who committed murder in the insurrection. The multitude, crying aloud, began to desire him to do as he had ever done before them. But Pilate answered them, saying, Will ye that I release unto you the king of the Jews? Of course, we know that didn't happen. It says here that Pilate knew that the chief priests delivered Christ because of their envy. All right, back to Mark chapter 14 verse 5, or 15 verse 5, where we were. But Jesus yet answered nothing, so that Pilate marveled. Pilate marveled at the answers of Christ because they were basically nothing. He did not speak. He answered nothing because he wasn't supposed to. It fulfilled the prophecy that was given in Isaiah 53 verse 7. If we'd had one prophecy fulfilled by Jesus Christ in his first coming, that would have been exceptional. 2 or 3, that would be miraculous. We're already up to 34 of them, and they've been fulfilled completely.